Good holy everyone, I am Fanny Jill Di Manlangit and I am your teacher for today. Together with me is...
Good holy everyone, I am April Joy Carol Masalan, but you can call me Teacher Joy. Right now, we'll be going to continue our discussion about the key roles of teacher and the reform of K-12 program.
Before we proceed to our discussion, I am going to present first our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to identify the different roles of teacher as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education reform. The Philippines Enhanced Basic Education Act or Republic Act 10533 has specific provision for teachers and principals to play leadership roles in both instruction and curriculum. The Republic Act 9155, commonly known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, specifies the important provisions under which teachers play a significant role in promoting and protecting every citizen's right to quality education. The empowerment of teacher is at the core of K-12 education. Teachers must see themselves as curriculum leaders, executing the following functions in the light of all the reforms and innovations in the K-12 education program. First is to ensure effective implementation of the curriculum standards and competencies. Second, to develop and evaluate curriculum materials that are appropriate for the students. Third, develop assessment and evaluating tools to assess learning. Fourth, plan and evaluate curriculum. Fifth is to solicit support from the parents and other stakeholders. Sixth is to make curricular decisions at the school level. And lastly, is to conduct a research to improve learning and content. Since the K-12 curriculum is a standard-based curriculum reform, all teachers are compelled to focus their attention on the following. First is the clarity of the standards. Teachers should know the essential standards that every student should learn in the curriculum. These standards are contents, skills, and values or attitudes that students need to learn and master. Second is the visibility of the performance measured. Teacher needs to ensure that each curriculum standard shows visible outcome to performance. And lastly, the third one is consistency of communication. Teachers should effectively communicate the standards to all students. The first role of a teacher is a teacher as curriculum leaders in preschool. The Kindergarten Education Act or the Republic Act 10157 integrates education into the country's formal education system. Prior to the 2011 to 2012 school year, kindergarten education was a requirement for entering grade 1. It was more of a privilege for students whose parents could afford to send them to kindergarten. It was ideal, but it was not required. All children aged 5 must now attend kindergarten according to the Kindergarten Education Act. A kindergarten diploma is now required to enroll in grade 1. The Department of Education published a curriculum that all kindergarten schools in the country must follow. Several domains must be formed in early children as part of this program. The following topics are covered in kindergarten. First, we have the values education. Second, we have the physical health and motor development. The third is the social and emotional development. The fourth is the cognitive development. The fifth is sensory perceptual motor development. We have also the mathematics, the understanding of the physical and natural environment, the understanding of the social environment, and the language literacy and communication. The new kindergarten curriculum needs teachers who are highly trained in handling young children's behavior and in guiding them towards learning. It will need teachers who are not only implementers of the curriculum, but curriculum leaders who will make decisions about the selection of content, materials, and assessment tools to be used. It will need teachers who advocate children's education, rights, and protections. The second role of a teacher is teacher as a curriculum leaders in the elementary grades. Primary or elementary education is always viewed as a living laboratory. As a result, its primary purpose is to help students build the fundamental skills, literacies, and life skills that they will need in the future. The subjects are aimed to offer learners with the required information to help them comprehend the world and their duties, as well as develop the necessary skills for everyday living. The elementary curriculum is crucial in assisting each learner in learning how to learn, becoming creative and critical thinkers, and becoming society builders. The subject covers important knowledge, skills, and values that all citizens and leaders must learn in order to be helpful citizens and effective leaders. Specifically, the elementary curriculum will expose learners to the knowledge embedded in each subject. This knowledge includes people's and society's history, cultures, and values, as well as life skills, language, and other forms of communication, quantitative reasoning, and a fundamental awareness of the natural and physical world.
Number 3, teacher as curriculum leaders in junior high school. We already know that junior high school program of K-12 includes from grade 7 to grade 10 of the secondary level. So it is the entry point of the student to the rigors of various disciplines in the areas of science, social sciences, mathematics, humanities, and applied disciplines such as home economics and vocational technology. So this curriculum for junior high school, it follows the spiral curriculum design that enabling them, the learners, to see the seamless connection of one topic to another at the horizontal and vertical levels. This means that the spiral progression of content is observed in the scope and sequence of the curriculum. So the teacher here in the junior high school should be the leaders will need to master their discipline and allow their learners to experience and examine the beauty of each discipline. The junior high school also here, the students are exposed to higher levels of learning. So this is their first encounter to study the discipline as disciplines and not as subjects. They will be exposed to higher mathematics such as algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and geometry. So they will be also to introduce to Asian history, world history, economics, and deeper learning of the Philippine history. So they will also discover the world and the Philippines literature and experience more of the applied discipline that they will need in their everyday life. So in the junior high school also, the natural sciences are also presented in a spiral curriculum integrating their physics, chemistry, biology, earth science, and general sciences. So in conclusion, in this junior high school, the teacher here will be going to assume the leadership roles by sharing their disciplinary expertise. Yes, disciplinary expertise to their student or learners. So they are going to content their experts and effective facilitators of teaching and learning process. They will going to plan an effective lessons, select their contents, and identify their strategies that is very relevant to their learners or students. So they will be going to understand the complexity of their learner behaviors or their student behaviors that is relevant. And this learner's behavior in the stage of their life that they will be going to serve as a behavior compass for their student to emulate. Now let's proceed to the number 4 role of teachers, which is the teacher as curriculum leaders in senior high school. So I know that all of us here are familiar in this one because we've been experienced to being a senior high school student. So the senior high school is something new in the educational program for basic education here in our country, which is the Philippines, and because it was added basically to prepare the Filipinos or us for global demands. That is part of the commitment of our country to make its educational system at par with global standards. So the senior high school programs is a 2-year education program added to the 10 years of basic education in the Philippines. So in senior high school, the student here will be going to choose their own education or will choose their own track from academic track to technical and vocational track and arts and of course the sports track. So in the academic track, it has a 4 specialization, which is the humanities and social sciences, business or the ABM, the STEM or the science, technology, English and mathematics, and general academic. So this tracks aims to develop the following. So as you can see in the presentation, the first there is they should be develop the life and career skills of the student. The second is their learning and their innovation skills. And the third is information and media skills. And the fourth one, of course, the communication skills. So in this four things that they should develop would really able to help the senior high school student to prepare them in the near future or in a real life situation. So there's also a senior high school teachers here that they will need to develop and implement their lessons their lessons. So the first one, as you can see in this presentation, is the learner-centered. It should be inclusive and developmentally appropriate. The second one, of course, it should be relevant, responsive, and research-based. And the fourth one, it should be culture-sensitive, contextualized, and global. And the fourth one, of course, it should be pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and of course, it should be integrative. So these four things that teacher of a senior high school teacher should be assessed or develop or implements this in order for them to do their own roles as a leader in their curriculum or in their institutions. And the senior high school also teachers, they need to become expert in their own field. Why? Because they will be going to teach the courses that will prepare their student for the profession they will be going to choose and provide them necessary skills that they need to become entrepreneur and productive in their own everyday life or in their daily lives. So in senior high school also, the student here are exposed to several specialized courses. Since kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, there's a lot of academic, technical, and vocational courses in mga sports and arts. So in here, they will be going to apply what they learn in junior high school in order for them to understand better the lesson and develop their higher competencies. So in this senior high school program the teacher here plays a crucial role. So they have a really important role in molding their student because they will be going to develop the professional skills, the attitudes of their students. So the teacher here as a curriculum leaders will be going to plan, design, and develop and implement, of course, the curriculum that is appropriate for their student. And of course, the most important, it should be aligned to the K-12 education program. So they are expected to innovate and take the lead in ensuring that the student will be going to master the core standards and competencies prescribed by the Department of Education for the senior high school curriculum. So, in